name is Patricia Gale. I'm your anchor on Community Good News, but today I'm coming to have some dialogue with Mr. Gregory D. Allen. He's the host on Community Economic Forum. Gregory has a book out, The Power of Positive Thinking. He has another manuscript that he's working on to be released in 2024. But you know, the information era doesn't stop. The technology doesn't stop. The knowledge doesn't stop. So we want to bring you the truth as it pertains to real estate and housing and investment. Merrick, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know you're busy, been out, we've been running. How are you today?
I'm well, Pat. Thank you for having me this morning. It's so good to see you. I'm so honored to be with you. It's a great morning. I think that we are just happy to be able to share with our listeners this morning and to bring them some good news about housing and economic development in Black communities.
You know what's so powerful for that? As I was checking the other day, we're now on the platform of Roku television's Apple Air. We have the potential to reach almost 100 million households. You know, social media talk about followers there. Well, you can't count the people in the households. So our viewing audience is unquantifiable because we're now bringing data coast to coast across the nation, internationally. We have some of our broadcasters there in Liberia, South Africa right now. Some just returned from Germany. And here we are in the United States of America bringing information about real estate and housing. So, Greg, I want you to talk about what your expertise is. Y'all seen this introduction right before this broadcast. The man has been in banking for a long time. He's got a lot of information, but he's got the wisdom to have the what? The understanding. So a lot of people get knowledge and they read, but they don't have the understanding and the revelation. Greg, talk to us today. What's on your heart? What's on your heart? Tell the people what it is they need to know in this hour.
Pat, I am just so grateful to have an opportunity and a platform to talk to our people about real estate and economic development. I think that this is the perfect time for the tools that have been afforded us, both yourself and the network. I'm looking forward to being able to reach as many people as we can. I think that God's timing is perfect timing.
Yes,
And
yes.
while we have had social media, and as you've mentioned, we've had the opportunity to build followers and to get people to like us and to be able to share videos and what have you. There's never been a greater opportunity for us to reach more people than we have with this network. So I'm just so grateful to have an opportunity to share. But I want to specifically talk today about a topic that we've had some discussion about, and that is the Community Reinvestment Act, or CRA. CRA, or Community Reinvestment Act, is a piece of national legislation that was enacted in Congress, I'm going to say in 1972 or 3. But the purpose of the Community Reinvestment Act was to curtail or eliminate the practice of redlining. Redlining was a process or a practice that was utilized by banks and financial institutions in the earlier years to exclude Blacks from home ownership and to restrict Blacks to certain communities within areas.
Yes.
This is one of the reasons why you have such densely populated Black communities in most metropolitan cities now. It was because those communities were redlined by financial institutions as it related to Blacks.
Now, you know what, Greg? We're saying back in 1970, 72, and the problem still exists today. You still have where people can't get the funding they need to have affordable housing or quality housing in the area, whereas they're taking the blighted areas or areas that maybe people have lost property from tax liens or foreclosures, and gentrification is kicking in. I know we're not talking about that right now, but I'm talking about how long this problem has existed with the redlining. So come on, talk.
Right. The persistence of the problem is evident. And I think that it is evident by the fact that we do still have communities that are densely populated by only Blacks. Here's the thing, though, Pat, and I think that there is somewhat of a misnomer about our abilities to acquire and develop those properties ourselves. We do, in fact, have the ability to rehab those properties and to transform minority communities.
Wow.
What we do not have is the togetherness that we need to accomplish that, the community or the family we need to accomplish that, and we don't have knowledge of the tools that are available to us for accomplishing that.
That's
But
right.
there are tools available to us, no
Yes.
matter your credit situation, no matter your financial circumstance, there are tools available to us as individuals within the communities that will allow us to acquire real estate,
Yes.
to acquire investment properties, to establish new businesses.
Yes.
Uh, I have adopted a new slogan for 2024. Let
Oh,
me tell
okay.
you what the slogan is. It is high time that we stopped asking who's going to help us and we start saying who's going to stop us. There's nobody
Yeah.
capable of
Woo.
stopping us from
Yes.
doing the things that we want to do if we do them as a collective body. You may recall that most of our biggest gains in this society over the last 50 to 60 years have not come from individual contributions to our community. They have come from collective effort from our community.
All right.
Sit-ins, marches,
Okay.
boycotts. All of these things involve the larger community. We have become such a community focused on individual accomplishment. We've forgotten the dynamic nature of our collective engagement.
My.
What I'm
Unity
hoping
in the community.
unity in the community. What I am hoping for is that as we roll out this platform, as we begin to educate people about, you can go and find loans to purchase multi-door properties in
Yes.
urban neighborhoods, live in those properties, collect Section 8 housing vouchers to support the other people who live in the properties, and you don't have to have perfect credit to do it.
Ooh, we see. Y'all need to
We,
reach out to Mr. Allen and stay connected, tuned to the network because we're rolling out these segments so that as you're in your mind, like you said in your book, Greg, The Power of Positive Thinking, audience, as your mind is having a paradigm shift to as what
Mhm,
he says, who can stop us? As you're getting ready, we're already positioned with the tools and the products. Now,
mhm.
we're going to bring that to you, but we don't want to bring that to you prematurely until you hear the plan and the strategy and the system of going to the next level. Go ahead, Mr. Allen.
Yes, but what I'm hopeful of is that as we introduce these tools and as we start to spread this message across the country and through these communities, we'll be able to train more people
Yeah,
and have other emissaries within the neighborhoods, in the communities, who are teaching and educating people about the same things that we are. But there are programs and services available to us that we can avail ourselves of so that we can start to recapture our neighborhoods. And
exactly.
that's the goal of Community Economic Forum. And I think it's the goal of American Dream Do Come True Network as well.
Exactly. We're on the same page. We're in that oneness and we're bringing that oneness to the viewers. Now, I'm sure there are other entities. In fact, I know of other entities and they have the same goal, but we need to learn how to collaborate. As you
Yes.
said earlier, let's get the collaborations together. I have offered the network to those. We just signed an agreement where we can have almost 75 different studios nationwide. So we'll come to you. At some point, we can do anything because of the pandemic, and that's how we started virtually. But we graduated now. We don't have to just do what we're doing now, is Zoom. I'm
This is true.
excited about that. But where he says we can teach and learn, we will be presenting to you where you can sign up for these particular empowerment workshops
Mhm,
so that you can learn more about how to, when to, where to, and look,
mhm.
let's possess the land. Greg, let's go ahead. Go ahead and talk about a little bit more as I was reading your book and we talked about the publication that's coming out, as an authoritative influencer
Mhm.
as it becomes to economic development, we got to open our mouths more. We have to
Right.
use our voice more. And so that's why I'm really thankful that the Lord entrusted me to this platform, a vehicle to launch individuals as yourself about your book and about what's happening, because there's not enough good news. That's why
Yes.
we have a segment, community goodness. Everybody, interest rate, depression. Look, more millionaires were made during wartime. Hello, somebody.
Right. Well,
If
you're
you don't know
absolutely
what's
right.
going on, but Greg, come on, I don't want to take up
Well,
your
you,
time talking.
you are absolutely right. And all of those things that we're talking about, all of the advancements that we're talking about, do begin with mindset. We are as we think. We do what we think we can do.
Mhm.
And, I've always felt like this: the man who believes that he will never accomplish all of the goals that he sets forth, and the man who believes that he can accomplish anything that he sets his mind to are the same men. They just have a different mindset.
For mindset.
I believe that if you teach yourself to be positive about the things that you're doing and to not focus on the things that you cannot control, that we can move forward as quickly or as slowly,
Mm.
or as quickly as we want to, or as slowly as we have.
Right. And the ones on the slowly that we have, that's this broadcast is not for them.
No, it is not. No, this is strictly a moving forward broadcast.
Already have left lunch. Look, those of you that are viewing, whether you're viewing it on the Roku televisions, your smartphones, your Android, your Apple devices, the internet, we're streaming 24/7. You should go back and replay this broadcast. It's in Mr. Allen's video on demand on the Consumer Economic Forum, because we got to hear the good news to drown out all the negative and bad
Mhm,
news. Now we're going
mhm,
to talk a little bit. I want to talk about these CRA places, centers,
mhm,
headquarters that are being uh, put out, because the banks that have money, the lenders that have money, I don't know if y'all heard what he said. He said, regardless of your credit, in some
mhm,
cases, you acquire real estate. So there's monies to go in these rebuilding the communities. Let's talk just a little bit about it. And we know we're going to wait till you finish the book in January to start more. Why? Because we want to be more equipped to empower and equip you all.
mhm.
We've got a segment on the network. I know a lot of people have probably zoomed out, but we've got a pay-per-view where you'll be able to sign in to his course and hear from wherever you are, or you can come to wherever we are. Okay. The supply and demand right now there, but
Mhm,
there's a demand for housing. You've got the homeless, you've got the disabled veterans, you got
mhm.
the immigrants. Come on, somebody. You got those facing foreclosure, you got those that got raised, you got those that going through whatever problem they're going through, large in the family with children and birth, school districts, divorce, all of that revolves in housing. God not making them a real estate.
That's
He's
true.
and
That is
so
true.
I hope that you will make up your mind to allow us to help you. The name American Dreams Do Come True is prophetic, because we want to change these nightmares into reality. And we
Mhm.
have the products and systems to do it. Greg, talk a little bit about the CRA. Some people don't know what it is. Let's share a little bit on that. I think
The,
that's
well, we were talking about the Community Reinvestment Act, and that legislation primarily targeted federally insured banks, or banks that were insured by FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, which is a federal organization that insures American bankers or American citizens' deposits in federal banks. So the legislation targeted those banks. And what it did was it suggested to banks that they had an obligation to lend to all of the citizens within a certain geographic area. And the banks were obligated to report what contributions they had made to those neighborhoods annually.
oh my.
However, it was the responsibility of the politicians locally to have them uphold those laws and regulations. So you have to challenge the banks. If you have a bank in a community that is responsible for lending to all of its citizens, but they're reporting and they're required by federal law to submit an annual report that outlines what that participation is, then you've got to request a copy of that report. If you're in a community that is predominantly Black and that has a large segment of your population living in housing, then it behooves you, or that are trying to start businesses, it behooves you to know what those businesses or what those banks are doing to assist the people in those communities.
Right. And on
Because,
that note, I'm sorry for interrupting. It's burning inside me with passion. There's an entity, the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, the Realtors. They're releasing the State of Housing in Black America report, so that even if you don't have the information from the banks, the report you can go on their website now, narrep.com, and read the report from last year. It ought to make you be mad, have some righteous indignation, get up off your gluteus maximus, like Greg said. Let's go forward and get the houses, get the apartment. It's okay if you rent, you have to rent, we all have, but it's time to also acquire.
and you don't have to acquire to live in, acquire it for the purpose of renting, for
Yep.
providing decent, affordable housing for other people.
Now
There's a spiritual blessing in lease or purchasing property to offer someone else a place to stay. It doesn't have to just be a place for you to domicile. You understand?
you done jumped into my segment for the coming weeks with this private money investors loan, whereas we using private dollars for rehab, for non-investment property, multi-purpose, and community. And as I said, reach out to us. Reach out. We want to share the information to those who are serious. Now, if you're not serious, and then this is not the time. So he just dived into it. I'm gonna go and get this football season. I grew up in the South and Southern, so that's what we know, the sportsman's paradise. I'm gonna go and get the ball back to you, Mr.
Well, no, I just want to tell people that the Community Reinvestment Act was a dismal failure. And it was a dismal failure because there was no mechanisms in place for community reinvestment to punish the banks if they didn't do what they said they were going to do. And as a result, they've continued to redline.
Do it. That's exactly.
There are fewer branch offices of banks, national banks in Black neighborhoods now than there were in 1970 when I started my banking career.
Replaced by police stations, may I add? The bank that
yeah, at least my branch was. The branch that I managed has been converted to a police station. But there's another branch on the other side of town in the same Black community that we're talking about that also houses that city's 100 Black men. So all of the old branch offices haven't been converted to police stations, but some of them have. But the point I want to make is this: because the program itself was such a dismal failure, what the federal government has done now is they have certified certain financial institutions whose primary function is to make those loans.
Oh, and that's where
they are called community economic development institutions.
Stop right there. And say it again. Y'all need to listen up and hear this. Come on.
Community economic development institutions. Yes. Google it and Google a community economic development institution in your neighborhood. It will tell you which of the financial institutions have been designated for the sole purpose of lending money to people in poorer, less affluent, less developed neighborhoods. That's us. But we have to be able to access those funds. We have to have the resources to teach our brothers and sisters how to access those funds and for us to assist them in accessing those funds, because the other people aren't assisting us in accessing those funds. So that's our goal. Our goal here at American Dreams Do Come True TV and Community Economic Forum is to enlighten you about the tools that are available to you so that you can purchase housing, you can find business loans, you can find investment funding. We can build our own investment portfolios and our own investment teams. The new book that's being released in 2024, Investing in Us, is a book about the use of rotating savings and credit associations, a process that is utilized by immigrant business owners to dominate the ethnic healthcare industry, which is all of these beauty supply stores that you see, all of the hair you see being
All
sold, all of the nail salons, all of the gas stations.
of
There's
the
a method for these people funding these businesses, and
yeah.
all of them aren't going to financial institutions and asking for loans. They're financing those businesses themselves. We are going to demonstrate to you in this new book that we're releasing in January of 2024. We're going to explain to you how that process works, how you can create banks or revolving funds in your own communities, in your own homes, with your churches, with your social organizations, so that
Yes.
we can start to do exactly what everybody else is doing. The one thing that we don't have to do this process is togetherness.
Come on.
That's what ADDCTV is designed to do, bring us together.
Exactly. Mr. Allen, I tell you, this has been commendable. I thank
Got
you.
me sweating.
I know.
I got excited.
I said, wait, man, I need you to come on the air and everything. And so we
I
did
got
this.
excited.
Huh? Yeah.
I said I got excited.
Yes, that's good. And we're going to stay excited. And I like to say, I'm not just excited, I'm ignited. So look, thank you all for tuning in. Again, replay. I'm not saying share. That's social media. We on a global network. Replay this broadcast, and we'll even have our support team fix it where you can download it. You can download it so that whatever you want to do to help bring the community in the community. Mr. Allen, thank you so much. Look forward to our next time that we're coming together. And just remember, if we can't bring you 100% community good news, we're not going to bring you nothing. Bye. Bless you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So there you have it. I've been on the set. We've been talking for hours. Mr. Allen, Gregory D. Allen, and myself. He was in banking. I was in real estate. So, the two go together. And we've been just having brainstorms on how we can empower our audiences, our viewing audience, and different entities that are interested in coming together to purchase this real estate. So take care. Look. Continue to watch us. We're streaming 24/7, 365. Dial in 1-888-450-4955. And we'll set up appointments with you. Get Mr. Allen's book. You see it on the screen, The Power of Positive Thinking. And let's do this. God bless you now. Bye.